I'm joined now live by its president, Tudor Brown, live from Taipei. Mr. Brown, thanks very much for being with us. So you have said this morning that ARM expects to have 50% share of the mobile chip market by the year 2015. Right now, you're at 10%. What makes you so confident?
So the 10% or so is by the domination of tablets, almost all of which are currently based on ARM technology. And as we go forward into those next few years, what we expect to see is that the tablet market is going to continue to grow, and we expect to continue to have a large share of that market. And then we expect to see more traditional laptop computers starting to use ARM technology as well, given that Microsoft announced earlier this year that they would be bringing out a version of Windows on ARM.
Now, we are expecting more details from Microsoft on that operating system that's going to be used together with ARM. Tell me more about this partnership and how you think that that is going to help you achieve this goal of 50% market share.
Okay, so the ARM's relationship with Microsoft actually goes back a very long way. We've been working together for about 14 or 15 years on various versions of Microsoft's operating systems. What they announced in January this year was that the next version of Windows will support ARM. And obviously, we're looking forward to that happening because we expect that will enable more traditional laptop-type PCs based on ARM, which, as you can imagine, here in Taiwan is of particular interest, given how much of the world's PC industry is based on this island.
But Microsoft's goal is to get itself onto more tablets and mobile phones, the space where you are. Do you think that this is going to help it to that end? And do you think it could perhaps be transformational? Because some people, perhaps, who aren't used to using Android will like the familiarity of Microsoft.
Well, I think it's twofold. As I said, we expect the tablet market to grow. And, of course, Microsoft would like to see, hope to see, a piece of that action, if you like. People are using tablets more and more, and I'm sure Microsoft want to have some of that market. And so bringing their operating system out on ARM is almost certainly going to help them achieve that.
So when are you going to start collecting royalties from that new operating system?
Oh, well, that's some time off, because you see, ARM is quite sort of far down the supply chain, if you like, because we license technology to semiconductor companies who build chips, who then put those in or sell those to companies who are making the end product. And so probably, realistically, it's at least the end of next year, possibly the year after. But it really depends on when Microsoft actually announced product. What they've announced so far is a capability and an expectation. They haven't said when they're bringing out that technology. And obviously, we're as interested as anybody else to see what they say there.
Can you give us some sort of projection as to how much revenue you expect to make from the partnership?
No, it's very difficult, because we can estimate what might come out of the more traditional PC market and tablet market, but Microsoft's real interest in porting over to ARM is to have a piece of the bigger market where ARM is enabling things like connected TVs and many of the other sort of internet-connected devices that we're all going to own in the future. And how big that market becomes is actually quite hard to conjecture at this point.
What can you tell us about how close you are to partnering with AMD?
So AMD is one of the few semiconductor companies left in the world that ARM has not actually licensed. And so, of course, from time to time we have discussions with AMD, but I can't announce or talk about anything that's come out of those discussions this morning.
All right, Tudor Brown, we've got to leave it there. President of ARM Holdings.